What a wonderful feeling it is when you finally realize that there is nothing outside of you that can stop you from attaining your desires. There is nothing outside of you that can be responsible for you achieving your goals. What a wonderful feeling it is when you finally believe that. The truth is, there's only one thing you must do in the attainment of every goal you can imagine. And I know, for some of you, it might be hard to believe it, but the only thing that you need to do is feel as if it had already happened to you. If you can get into the state of consciousness, if you can elevate into the vibration, if you can embody the feeling that what you want is already yours, there's nothing else you need to do. And in fact, if you don't capture the feeling that you already have what you want and you try to devise a plan for its achievement, and in doing the plan and following your plan faithfully, you embody a separate feeling, a feeling that you don't have it, even with the most well thought out plan. What we manifest in our life is the feeling that we embody consistently. What constitutes our truest self is the state we constantly return to. And the state that you live in on a daily basis is the combination of thoughts and feelings that you live through. So when you realize that you can embody a new feeling, when you realize that you can embody the feeling of the goal that you want, and when you fully live into it, you must experience everything that that feeling implies. Everything that that feeling implies will be realized. Now, we've learned a lot about thoughts and how thoughts create reality. And this is certainly true, but to try and consciously change the things that you're thinking about on a minute-by-minute basis is an overwhelming task, especially when you take into consideration that we think 60 to 75,000 thoughts a day. So you don't go after the thoughts. If you can change the concept that you have about yourself, what you'll find is that you'll naturally start thinking differently. See, you think from the perspectives that you live in. And right now you have a certain perspective, a perspective about who you are, where you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you feel about yourself, but most importantly, who you are. And that perspective that you have is what produces the conversations in your mind. Now, if you can try this exercise with me right now, maybe just for the next 10 minutes, even after this video finishes, I want you to assume that you are a different version of yourself. Just play around, just pretend, just imagine. I want you to assume that you have a different personality. Perhaps you are outrageously outgoing. Perhaps you are eccentric. I want you to be like an actor for a second. You don't got to be over the top. I just want you to assume that you will have a different personality. Now, if you do this successfully, while remaining in this new assumption over the next 10 minutes, you can even do it for 30 minutes. Go ahead, try it for 30 minutes. If you remain in this assumption, what you'll notice is that the thoughts and images that come to your mind will change. You will naturally find yourself thinking different thoughts. You will naturally find yourself entertaining different conversations. And by remaining in that assumption, what you'll notice is you'll begin to feel like you really are that person. Now, what I'm here to tell you is that if you remain in that assumption and you never let yourself leave that assumption, what will happen is that assumption will harden into a fact. It will become a reality. That assumption will no longer be false. It will be true. This is called the law of assumption. And it states any assumption persisted in, though false, will harden into a fact. So what I would like to challenge you to get clear on who you want to be. What do you want? Why do you want it? And when you get clear in the answer to those questions, ask yourself, who is the person who would have accomplished these goals? Who? And describe the future you, that possibility in the future that exists right now. I want you to imagine that person actually exists and describe them vividly. And then I want you to assume that you are that person as you go to sleep. And when you wake up, I want you to get back in that assumption. Wear that assumption like it's some cologne you sprayed on yourself, some perfume that you sprayed on yourself. It's not something that you naturally, that you have to do. It's something that just naturally oods out of you, right? Like oud, like that's pretty good cologne. I love oud. If you want to buy me a gift, buy me some oud. What would happen if you do that? Well, one, you'll find this ultimate confidence, this peace, this patience. You'll lose your anxiety. You'll lose your procrastination. And if you really get present with what that means to you on the emotional level, on the deepest level that we teach in Deep Dive, you'll really feel like it already happened. In fact, some people, they get so present with this, they find themselves not even thinking about it anymore. And they come to me and ask me, hey, Evan, I don't even think about this goal anymore. Why is that? And I would say, why would you think about it? You already have it. There's nothing to think about. And when you feel in your heart that it's done, that's when it shows up. There's a saying, and it goes that the people who go looking for love never find it. They only manifest their lovelessness. But the people who find love never have to look for it. No, only the loving who find love, and they never have to look for it. I'm not sure if I said that quote right, but the main gist is if you feel the need for love, you never find it. But when you're loving, you find it, and you never have to look for it. That's what I was trying to get out. So, what a beautiful thing to realize when you know the only thing that you really need to do is convince yourself of the reality and the truth that you already have what you want. And your failure to convince yourself of this truth is the only reason why you will never have it. You must feel it's already done. And in order to do that, you need to know, what is it that you want? Who do you want to become? What does that mean to you on the deepest level? And then assume it. Feel it. If it's hard to assume it, if it's difficult, you don't want it. That's why. If it feels draining to wrap your mind around it, you don't want that. We always want things that give us energy. So make sure you do that and you get present with that, because don't get discouraged. So yes, I hope this found you well. I freestyle all of these talks. I don't write them down. I just speak out of my heart. My name is Evan Yearwood. I hope to see you soon. Join our Facebook group, Deep Dive. You'll see the link in the description. Take care. Bye-bye.